Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Pink Property Podcast. I'm Lee O'Brien and joined today by Leanne Peters, who had only been with us about a month. And I just wanted to take today's episode to introduce you to Leanne, let you know what Leanne's been doing at the business so far and what she's planning to do for the future. So Leanne, you've been in business, in and out of the business and around business for the past sort of 20 years. And you've come into the David Lee position here as our head of high performance and talent. This is a new role within the business and sort of on the sort of development process of the business that we're going through at the moment. And just wanted to run through sort of your story, bit of background, get people to sort of know and get to understand where Leanne comes from and what she does here. So start at the beginning, I suppose. Tell us what's the story and where's it all begin for you?
Well, it began a very long time ago.
We'll give it 20 years.
Yeah, about 20 years. I know I don't look old enough. I started working for a well-known travel company called GTA. They're part of the Kuoni Group.
Cool.
So a very large luxury end.
They do luxury stuff, don't they? Yeah, lovely stuff.
And I was working the wholesale side.
Okay.
So I was just turned 18. I got the job for my 18th birthday. I got the phone call. Started working there and I was there for about 15 years. Okay. Started off bottom of the ladder.
Yep.
And it was about a year and a half into the job that I realised, no, I need more. I need to grab the ball by the horns and climb up that ladder. So within about a year and a half, I found myself going down the learning and development road.
So that early, it was, by the time you were 20, it was into learning and development even there.
Yeah, by the time I was 21, I had my first qualification within L&D and I was working within HR and doing coaching, mentoring and high performance.
Brilliant. And who would you be coaching in that business? Like who would be your clients, I suppose, and colleagues that you'd be looking after?
So the team that we had, because we were the wholesale side of the business, the team that we had were buying and selling hotel bedrooms and then trading them off to internet companies. Yeah. So I started looking after the London market and that soon progressed to Rome, Zurich and Bangkok.
Brilliant. And you did quite a lot of travelling in that role as well?
A lot of travelling.
Great.
It was good.
That's really good. And then sort of beyond that, where did you go next? Tell us what came after the 15 years in travel.
So obviously I was doing the whole learning and development side of the business and I sort of reached as high as I could go. I was there for 15 years, so the job kind of reached a peak. We started opening up more call centres in different parts of the world and I really needed to keep my time. I had a young family at the time, so I had to keep myself within the UK.
Not all the travelling and stuff.
But I didn't want to drop the high performance coaching, the learning and development, the training side of things. So I just, put my foot out there and started looking around. Funny enough, I've got family that have been in agency all my life. There's estate agents in the family. Excellent. And I had a couple of conversations and that's what led me to join Spice of Heart. Yeah.
And Spice of Heart, a big firm.
They are,
huge independent agency. And what did you do there? So what was your role and your day-to-day at Spice of Heart?
So when I started at Spice of Heart, I was looking after their London brand, so Felicity J. Lord.
Yep.
And I was doing all the learning and development for Felicity J. Lord, so the induction training, all sales training, valuing and compliance training as well. And then after about a year, that then extended to South London as well. And then I went on to do Essex, Kent, until eventually I was covering the whole nation.
Brilliant.
So from Devon right up north over to Wales, doing compliance, sales. And,
so a bit more travel, but UK-based travel.
UK-based travel, a lot of it's done over Zoom now. So
Yes, of course, the new world we're in. But I suppose when you're dealing with people from far reaches of the country all over, you have to kind of adapt really and get everybody in the one place at the one time. So your main focus there. So after you were looking after that, sort of say probably at the last point, nationally, what were you doing at that point?
So all induction training for every single person that joined the company in a sales role. Through to all sales training, then compliance and legislation, so making sure everyone's updated.
Brilliant. And how many people did they have when you left?
A lot, just under 1,000.
Wicked, excellent. A lot of people to look after.
A lot of people.
And then how do you think that those skills and that time that you've had in learning and development are going to transfer to your role here at David Lee?
Well, I can combine them really when you think of the skills from Spice of Heart. So 20 years worth of training, qualified in training as well. And when I combine that with the experience that I've had from Spice of Heart. So
Yep.
I've learned the business
Agency
upside down,
business.
inside out. I can put them both together. And, I understand that in agency, it's, what business will work in London won't necessarily work in Cardiff, for example.
Yeah.
And I've seen every part of the country for agency. So when I put that together with the learning and development, high performance culture and, coaching, it will put me really in a good position here in which to coach our associates and drive a high performance culture no matter what part of the country
because they are spread
in.
out now. As the business grows, and we've got our associates as far north for us as the Midlands, and then we're out into sort of East Anglia and down into northwest London, and actually even in that sort of scope, that's not even nationwide, there is real differences in what works, what doesn't work. Micro sort of cultural differences across the country. So we've really noticed that as we've launched these new businesses in those areas, that they do require a different tool set and sometimes a different approach.
Exactly. You need quite a big bag with all your different skills in, and depending on where you're going, you need to know what one to pull out. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And being involved in high performance, what's one of the sort of more satisfying elements of the role? What do you enjoy most about that?
So with high performance, it's a lot of people just think it's training, and high performance has got nothing to do with training. It's about looking at an individual and understanding what their best ability is. So not the best ability of what a company says their ability is, it's what they can do, and really driving them in which to achieve their personal goals. It's when they get that light bulb moment, when they realise that they can do it or they have done it, and that's what continues to push me and drive me to help.
Seeing people check that list off of those goals, ambitions and achievements.
Exactly that.
That's really good. That is really good. And for you, obviously you're completely involved in this space now. Why do you think it's important for a company like ours to have a high performance culture?
Well, if you look at companies that do have high performance cultures, it's all to do with staff having a voice. So not having robots that are working for you, and having staff that are able to be in an environment that challenges the norm. So, stepping away from being told what to do. The best ideas, so the best companies out there, the most successful companies, have a high performance culture because the staff there are able to speak freely. So you're able to collaborate and challenge the status quo. And some companies don't allow it, but the ones that want to succeed will allow that kind of culture, and that's
it allows those new ideas to come.
No matter what level you are, no matter what the hierarchy is, you need to be able to have a voice. And if companies allow their employees to have a voice, they perform better. Thus they perform highly.
Definitely. And probably finally, what is high performance to you? What does it mean to you?
High performance can mean a lot of things. I think everyone will say completely different, but for me, it's about having the right attitude. If you don't have the right attitude, you're not going to perform highly in anything you do, let alone being at work. So you need to have the correct attitude, and from there, the sky's the limit.
Brilliant, lovely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time for me to introduce you to our audience, and thank you as ever for tuning in. Have a great Sunday.